Hello and welcome to another week of the training videos. We are winding down the season, so remember we only have a couple more of these weekly training videos, and then we're going to move toward, remember when we get the playoffs, we stop looking at plays from the previous week, and we start doing topics. So if there's any topics you're interested in, anything you want us to do, let me know, put it in the comments, email us, and we'll try to do a topic on that. We do have one already in the works on momentum, so that's probably going to be one of the first ones. But we'll do some other topics as we need. It's going to be probably a shorter video than normal today. Been out of town for the other job, so not as many clips to look at. But I try to give us some really good quality ones. So we're going to start with defenseless player, unnecessary roughness, whatever we want to call it. Got this hit over the middle, and then we have a flag for, I think it was UNR for on a defenseless player. There's a couple of things we want to look at on this. When we're looking at unnecessary roughness, stuff like that, you really want to look at actions that are outside the normal, anything outside the normal for a normal football action. It's unnecessary. That's the wording. And then you also want to look for, did they intend to hurt? Was their intent to hurt on this? That's why we really emphasize wrapping up, because if you wrap up, it kind of indicates you're making a legitimate attempt at a tackle and you're not just trying to hurt another player. So one thing we want to look at for this, does this look as bad because he was in the air and he flipped? Is that why this looks as bad as it does? And you really have to take that into consideration, because if the receiver doesn't go up and he just dives and he's just diving and making a play, well, then you're probably not going to have anything. So that's what we're looking for. Is this a normal what is it? Is this a normal football action? He's just diving to make a play. Like I said, if this player doesn't flip, is this a foul? And I don't think it is. I think it looks worse than it is because the player flips. I don't really see any intent to harm. And the player gets right back up. There's no targeting. There's no leaping, no thrusting, launching, anything like that. He dives at the player. But again, if the player didn't go up in the air, you can see that he actually starts his dive, or his leap, his dive, before the player goes up. So he was not looking up in this player from the beginning. It all happens pretty quickly. Like I said, he has started his dive before he even goes up in the air. So I think this is just, it's a lot of nothing. Remember, big hits are not necessarily illegal. You look for anything that's outside of a normal football action. If you think they were intending to hurt them, and a lot of times the player's action after the play will kind of factor in that they get up and flex or taunt or anything like that. Here's another similar one. Again, here you do not have a wrap up, but, well, no, you can see his arms fly out. There's an attempt at a wrap up. It's not a very good attempt, but he does attempt to wrap up. So that's really what you're looking for here. This is not a foul either. This is just, anytime a receiver goes across the middle, they have to anticipate getting hit. That's true at every level. And that's all it is here. Like I say, he attempts to wrap up. There's nothing outside of a normal football action here. He's not trying to, and there's no intention to hurt. He's just trying to make a play. Just like in the previous play, you just have a defender trying to make a play. And we're not going to punish people for doing that. Only if they try to go, above what's considered a normal action. I think we have to look at the wide. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to watch these two receivers here. anytime we are inside the red zone, or even in some cases inside of 25, anytime we have more than one receiver out, especially if we have trips to one side, we want to have our radar up for OPI. Now, that's not me saying, any kind of little thing inside the 25 with trips or twins is going to be OPI. You still want to look for, are they trying to run a route? Are they attempting to run a route? Does it look like their whole intent is to block? Stuff like that. We still want to look for what we normally look for in OPI. The bar for OPI is very high. You have to know without a doubt that that was the intent. So watching this on the right hand side here, bottom of the screen. This player in particular. Now the flag for this was actually defensive holding. So, we can sit here and make an argument for OPI all we want. I don't know. I don't think OPI is there, because the argument can be made. This little juke, all that could be trying to make a route. And I can see why the official got duped into DPI or defensive holding, because you see the receiver trying to run a route like that, and then there's engagement. I mean, yeah, it looks like defensive holding in that context. But if you look in the context of it possibly OPI, well, then you really have nothing. So really your only two choices you would go with here would either be OPI or nothing. I just don't think there's enough there for OPI. You can see he kind of tried to disengage. I mean, yeah, this could have been a planned and designed block from the beginning. And honestly, it probably was. This was probably designed to be for him to block this defender so this one can break open. Probably what it was designed to do. But as officials, we don't guess what the plays are. We have to officiate what we see on the field. And there's just nothing here for OPI. Really not enough for defensive holding. Like I said, your only two options in this case would be OPI or nothing. And nothing is the right call. OPI is very hard because, like I said, the bar is very high for OPI. You have to basically, without a doubt, know that that's what they're intending to do. And it's hard for us to really do that. Okay, last play we're going to look at is a helmet coming off and a player continuing. Let's see if there's a tighter. Nope, that's wide. So watch this player here. His helmet's going to come off. And he's going to keep playing. Actually even gets in on the tackle some. So when we're looking at illegal participation in regards to player's helmet coming off and continuing to participate, what we look for is if they are engaged in a block when that helmet comes off, they can stay in that engagement as long as it's continuous. And that's what this is. So he's in the block, he keeps on being blocked, it's a continuous block, he gets in on the play. And one of the reasons why we really don't want them to stop when that helmet comes off is because it can actually be more dangerous for them to stop in this case than it would be if they keep going. Because then if they stop, if the other player, or see he's being double teamed, if the player with his that helmet came off, he stops, and both those blockers are still engaging, I mean, he's actually at more risk of getting hurt than he is right now by continuing in the play. So that's kind of what you want to look for. When we would foul or have a foul would be if he's engaged, he breaks that engagement and then re-engages. When he re-engages, that's when we have a foul. Or if the blocker disengages and then the player's helmet off pursues a runner upfield or something like that. I think we had a play in the very, very beginning of the season where we had that situation. Player's helmet came off. I think there was a fumble and a return going the other way, and the player pursued. So that would be illegal participation because he disengaged, and then he basically re-engages in the play. In this particular play, he stays engaged. So, like I said, it's actually more dangerous for him to disengage. So I don't think this is not a correct foul. But I will say, and this is another learning tool for us, the penalty administration for this was correct. See where they started. Started right at the 40. And then you're going to have a sack. Originally I thought it was an incomplete pass, but it is a sack. Right around the 30. Depends where they spot them. Alright, you see it. Look at participation. And then the ball will be next put in play at the, 53. Maybe the 47. Because maybe they had him down to 32. They went 15 yards from where the sack was, which is correct. It is a live ball basic spot foul. That's in the rule, but 941G or 914G. I know whatever, it's 9 something G. And it specifically says for enforcement. This is from the basic spot. Some of your other illegal participations are previous spot fouls, but helmet coming off and participating, that's a basic spot foul. And the basic spot on this one would have been into the related run, which is fouled by the defense. So you would go from the basic spot on this one, not the previous spot, and not the spot of the foul. All right. We may be doing a topic video on penalty enforcement as well. But so that's it for this week. Like I said, it's a short video because I've been out of town. But get those suggestions for topic videos in, and we will start looking at those. And we still have, I think, 3 more finals videos to come out with. So one of those is almost done. The 5A final is almost done. All right. Good luck this week. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you didn't like it, other button works too.